And we're getting straight into it. We're not going to waste any time. As you see right here, this is the chart that Bitcoin bros have been showing you. And this is what happens. We have these ranges that we trade in for some time. When we break out of them, it can be very volatile. And right now, there's a lot of fear in the market, and we're going to tell you what we see coming next. So pay attention to this purple line on the bottom. We've been talking about this in a lot of our previous videos, and we've been rolling out in this channel for quite some time. Let's get our date range. Really, since back in November of last year, we've traded in this channel for almost 100 days. And then look what happened. We had this meltdown. And right now, we are down to about 87.5. Could this dip get bought up? You know, it definitely could, but this is definitely a bearish engulfing candle, and we did fall through the 92 range. So what can we see in the short to midterm? RSI is definitely oversold, not all the way into the floor, so there could be some more downwards pressure there. This is on the 2-day chart, so if we zoom into this chart, we could see this candle maybe have a back test back up to the 92 range. So if we see this, that's not a really bullish sign. We need to get back above this 92 level in order for this sort of to be just a washout and a continuation to the upside, if that's the case. And we do have this macro potential falling wedge pattern that we've been showing you for quite some time too. And this has just been right here, hitting the tops, hitting the bottom. And are we going to keep getting squeezed down to this apex? Could we see a run up to this level, 92, then come back down to the 84 range by the middle of March? This could be what the price action looks like, and then we ultimately could be breaking out of this to the upside. This is a bullish pattern, flipping resistance to support, breaking through this resistance to support, and have a continuation to the upside, and ultimately putting in a new all-time high. That could be potentially how the cards play with this, but you got to pay attention to all these levels. If we fall out of this channel, the Gaussian channel bottom level right now is at 84,000, and right now the 200 moving average is down to 81.7. This is on the 2-day. If you look on the higher time frame, there's a lot more opportunity to fall even further. Still, the same pattern is intact. And one thing we want to show you is, we showed you this in a previous video as well, where this technical target is for this M pattern. And if this plays out, we would pull this from, we'll pull it from the purple lines because the levels are going to look a little bit different on the weekly, but basically these are the levels to pay attention to, 106 and 92,000. And if this plays out, this M pattern, technical target for this would take us all the way down to 78,000. So this could be that falling wedge that we fall down to, and we don't make it all the way down to this level. If we do come back up, back test down to the 84 range, have a bump and run continuation to the upside, or if we fall out of this falling wedge, this is where that technical target could take us down to around the $78,000 range. And will that have any confluence with anything really that we see in the charts? Not quite, just these major candles to the upside. So one thing to note as well, you see these 3 candles is on the weekly chart. In 3 weeks, we blasted from 71 up to this range of 92. So when you see a blast up in a channel, like we did right here, it's just like straight up to the right. We'll see what the next 2 weeks gives us, because when you break back down into this channel, you know, it could be a higher probable chance that we wick straight down to this level right here. This will be our max pain, max buying opportunity range here, around this $70,000 to $72,000 range. Could we come all the way down to here? Yes, this would decimate the entire market. This would decimate alts. This would decimate everything. So this is something to definitely pay attention to. If you have some dry capital, which the Bitcoin bros do, looks like we might be breaking down into 86 while recording this. We're right above 87,000. We want to see this channel hold here. If we want to see continuation to the upside, can we get relief rally? Yes, potential possibility, but no guarantee. So this huge bullish engulfing candle, if you looked at any of the Bitcoin Bros technical analysis videos, we have a technical analysis course on our channel. The way you look at these big engulfing candles is you look at these as, okay, if this closed right now, 50% back up would be around 91 range, and then this would be 75%, this would be a third down here. So technically on retracements, retracements tend to, let's clear this chart up because there's a lot going on, a lot of old lines that we've drawn. And you see here, if this does close, it's a high probable chance that we come up a third of this, about to 90K, before having a rollover and continuation to the downside, or up to 50% range before we then come over and have a flip over back down to the downside. So remember these levels, the third and the 50% range. Those are basic retracement levels that are still bearish in nature. So if we don't get back above this and don't get back and don't eat a majority of this bearish engulfing candle, we want to get back above this 92 range in the short to midterm, or we're going to definitely be seeing lower price action. As we see, 87,000 just got broke at the current time of this recording. So the market's melting down. Buying opportunities. Could we see lower? Looks like yes. MicroStrategy. What do we see? What do we anticipate? At the current time of this recording, coming in at 257. This is a buying opportunity as well. And we've just been in this uptrend. And you see, once we broke through this uptrend, the market continues to melt down. Max pain level will be going down to the 215 to 220 range. Could that be what we see? Most definitely. If we zoom out on the charts and take a look to the left, we see that we have these red lines that are drawn, and one red line to pay attention to is all the way back down to the $200 range. Well, so will that be something that we come back and actually backtest? There's a lot going on, let me clean this chart up once again. But could this have been our blow off top? Could we be getting ready to have a reset? The moving averages, if we get rid of this Gaussian channel, we can see our moving averages on the weekly. We broke through the 20. The 100 is all the way back down to $134. So not saying we will go down that low, but it's something to definitely note and definitely pay attention to. If we zoom into this price action, we did trade in a range here as well on the weekly. So this would actually be down to about here. You see we hit our head on this once, got rejected twice, third time's a charm, had almost a back test continuation. So could we come all the way back down to this $180 range? That could be what's in the cards. If Bitcoin goes back down, it's all going to be based on what Bitcoin does. Bitcoin right now, it had a wick below this. It got down into the 86 range, still trading right above 87,000. But if we do see a fall down here to the $71,000, $72,000 range, looking at MicroStrategy again, MicroStrategy would follow suit and also probably at least come back down to this 180 range. Could we go further? Moving averages on the weekly go back down to 130. The 200s all the way back down to $90 or 87, 80, between $85 and $90. So that's definitely max pain, bear market territory. But look, we had this bearish divergence here. This bearish divergence, we put in a higher high on the price and a lower high on the RSI, and now this is melting out. There's a lot more downwards pressure that can happen. So where we go, nobody really knows, but it looks like we're going to see more downwards price action versus upwards price action. Dollar cost averaging into these positions on the way down. If you scaled out and has some stables, then great. Bitcoin bros do. We will let you know when we're starting to deploy. Right now, we're just sitting on the sideline. Could this turn around? Yeah, it's a slight possibility, but we see the bearish divergence playing out right now. We're putting in lower lows and lower highs in the RSI. This market seems like it needs to reset. That's what we see right now. Current time is recording. MicroStrategy is coming in at 254. And look what happens right here. This is something to definitely note. We are in extreme fear. Extreme fear. Yesterday we were neutral. We'll see the next update in 8 hours. We'll keep tabs on this for you. The CBBI confidence worth the peak is at 75. And as you see here, we didn't get quite oversold yet with the dark red. Not yet. It looks like we're getting back into the light orange range with this pullback, and this is just, CBBI confidence. This is just par for the course. So could we just be getting a cool off and then a rip up to the upside? That definitely could be in the cards. Once again, you see this level down here. Bitcoin came and bounced up this uptrend as well. That uptrend, coincidentally, is intersects with the 70 range down in June. So the mantra selling may and go away. Could that be what we see for Bitcoin coming back down to the low 70 range? You have to prepare for any possibility. As you see right now, we're seeing a lot of pressure to the downside on the market, 86.7. So right now, Bitcoin bros are with you, reporting to you, letting you know what we're doing, what we see, and the levels to pay attention to. If you guys like this content, go ahead and smash the like button. And with that, I'm Sean with the Bitcoin Bros, and I'm out.